Hello everyone and welcome back to Young Tutor. Today we will be learning another part of the number systems just as a continuation of what we learned in the first video. In the first video we learned about natural numbers and whole numbers. Today we'll be continuing the same whole numbers to another further level which would be integers. Integers are the such a number which go on infinitely in both the directions. Whole numbers are the numbers which start at 0 and therefore they go so on like this. But integers are the numbers which have the minus sign, that is there's a negative side of them, therefore they extend on both the directions infinitely. Some examples of integers are -2, -3, you can take -8 also is another integer. But integers are not only the numbers which are on the negative side, but they can also be numbers on the positive side. For example, 1, 2, 3, they go on forever. They cover all the sides unlimitedly. Today I'll be teaching you about how to add, subtract, multiply and divide these integers. So first let's start with addition. Addition of integers is very simple. We can add integer. Let's take two integers, for example -3 and 2. To add these two integers, all we can do is -3 plus 2. In this situation, all we have to do is take the for example if you take 3, all you're doing is subtracting 2 from 3. If the two numbers that is are of opposite sign, that is in this case -3 is of negative sign and 2 is of positive sign, therefore as they both are of opposite signs, you have to subtract the number without including the sign and then taking the bigger number sign. That is, you have to first what you have to do is subtract 3 minus 2, which you will get 1, and take the bigger number sign. In this case the bigger number is 3, so you have to take 3 sign, which is minus. And if you check, the answer is correct, which is -3 plus 2 is equal to -1. Another example that we will take will be -5, 10. To add these two numbers, all we can do is write -5 plus 10. This looks simple, but you have to it takes a little time, because it's nothing but the same upper formula, but we are using a 2-digit number. All you have to do in this situation is, first, as I said earlier, subtract both the numbers as they are of opposite sign. By subtracting these two numbers, we get 5. 10 minus 5 is 5, therefore we get 5. And the bigger number sign in this case is 10, which has a plus, and therefore it's plus 5 or just plain 5. That is the answer. Addition and subtraction of integers, as usual, it goes on forever. But addition, subtraction, multiplication, anything you do, you can take very large numbers to very small numbers and add them. 0 is also an integer. Subtraction with integers is also very easy. It's not that difficult. So to subtract two integers, let's take the same example as earlier, the same two examples as earlier. The first example that we took earlier was -3 and 2. During subtraction, all we are doing is changing the second number sign. That is, if you take the first number, that is -3, and you have to write it like this, -2. So in this situation, we can see that 2 has gotten its opposite sign, as earlier 2 was in the positive sign and now we've made it negative. So -3 minus 2 as earlier is nothing but, we can write this also as -3 plus of -2. This is another way of writing this, but easier way to write the same thing is the first way, that is minus 3 minus 2. The answer of this, both of these answer is the same, which the answer is minus 5. All we are doing here is taking the same sign out and adding the two numbers. The second one will be a little different, so that you will understand the topic. It is minus 5 comma minus 10. Earlier we had taken plus 10, but this time we are taking minus 10. So this time we are writing minus 5 minus of minus 10. If you see here, there's two minuses, and in multiplication it's a common rule that when you are multiplying a minus with a minus, it will always equal to a plus. Therefore, when you do this is also equal to minus 5 plus 10. As we saw earlier, the answer is 5 itself. This subtraction gets very complicated when the minus of minus situation comes up. Therefore, you should understand that minus of minus is equal to plus. Now let's start with multiplication. Just before we start multiplication though, there are some formulas that I just said, like the minus of minus equal to plus. These are very important. For example, plus into plus gives a plus itself. So remember that even though minus of minus equal to plus, plus of plus does not equal to minus, it still equals to a plus. It's regular multiplication that we have in normal numbers. Another next one will be minus of plus, which is equal to minus itself. Next we have plus of minus equal to minus again, and minus of minus, which is equal to plus. Remember, it might look like a lot of minus in the plus signs, but it is not. It is just some formulas that you got to remember. Based on if the number is positive or negative, you can apply these formulas to understand better. Now let's go on to multiplication with examples. So first, as usual, we took the minus 3 times 2 in this case. So we write it as minus 3 into 2. Another way of writing, the multiplication is minus 3 of 2. Multiplication in integers is also commutative. That is, you can write 2 into minus 3 and it's the same answer. What we get out of this is all you have to do is take the minus sign if available, or just do the formulas as earlier. The signs, if there's 2 plus, it'll stay plus. If there's 2 minus, it'll stay plus again. You should remember these formulas. These are very important. Now, as there's only single minus and there's no minus in the whole other statement except this, we have to put minus in the answer. And we'll do a regular multiplication with the rest of the numbers. That is 2 into 3, which is, everyone knows about it. It's easy. It's 6. Now the next example we'll take is the same as that we took for subtraction, which will be minus 5 minus 10. Minus 5 into minus 10, we'll write it down. In this situation, you can see there's 2 minuses. And another way to easily understand this will be, if there are 2 minuses, then if there's an even number of minuses in the question, the answer is positive. Whereas in this case there's even number, so the answer is positive. And if in case there is an odd number of minus sign, as in the first example we have here, there's only one minus sign, therefore it's odd, and therefore the answer will be a minus. It will be in the negative side. It's easy to remember also. Now all we have to do is multiply the two numbers. 5 into 10, it's very easy. It is 50. So now that we have understood both multiplication, all three of these, addition, subtraction, and multiplication of integers, which is very easy, let's move on to division. Alright, now let's begin with division. Division in integers is a little complicated, but also not too complicated and not too hard. All we have to do to understand how to divide with integers is we'll take an example first. Minus 3 and 2, as we have taken since the start of the video. Let's take the same examples to understand better. Minus 3, so to divide this we can write it in the same way, minus 3 by 2. But in this situation we cannot divide these two numbers, because because even if we divide we'll get a fractionized number, but as the fraction contains a negative sign, it is called a rational number. Rational numbers are just the next level of integers, which we will not be covering today. Rational numbers will come back to another time, but this number will just get a fractionized form of these two numbers. The second example we'll be taking, which actually divides, will be minus 5 and 10, as we took for addition. But one more thing, just after this sum I will tell you. Just a second. So first we divide it as minus 5 divided by 10. 1 second, I'll do it the other way around. So if we do it in this form, it will be easier. Minus 5 by 10, 10 by minus 5, we get this fractionized format. Minus can go to the tens, to the 10, therefore it will become minus 10 by 5. And we can cancel these two numbers. Cancellation is very easy, it's nothing but dividing the whole numbers and not the minus sign, which we get 2 on the top and 1 on the bottom, as 5 times 2 is 10. So the answer is minus 2. This is simpler. This is simpler than the other way as given here, because minus 5 and 10 again give another rational number. Now some formulas I want to give you in division is that a positive number divided by a positive number will always give a positive number. A negative number divided by a positive number will give a negative number. A positive number divided by a negative number will also give a negative number, but a negative number divided by a negative number will give a positive number. If you see, this is the same thing as what I had given for multiplication, because they both are very similar. Multiplication is repeated addition, whereas division is nothing but repeated subtraction. Now, the last thing I want to tell you is that if you remember at the start of the first video, we had made some circles. Those circles symbolized natural numbers, whole numbers, only these two numbers earlier we had understood. But now we got two more additions to this circle, which is integers and, as we just discussed about, rational numbers. Rational numbers are nothing but the fractions and negative fractions, which we'll come back to later on in another video. But now we can see that we can circle this and make a more briefer or more deeper understanding of what are integers and what do they consist of. Rational numbers, we'll keep it aside as we have not learnt it yet. We'll come back to that on that day when we learn it. So, but as I said earlier, integers consist of all negative numbers, for example minus 3, minus 2, etc., and all the positive numbers as their circle comes inside the other circles, outside the other circles. Now for today's homework. If you watched till here, thank you for watching. And just before I give today's homework, if you've liked and understood what are integers, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like the video. Now let's come to the homework of today's session. The homework for today will be first to understand, as if you've understood the integers, then you can add these integers, -4 and 10. It's very simple, as I've done it already, but with 5. So it's very easy. You can go ahead and do it right now. Subtract the same number multiply but this time we'll take a different two numbers. We'll take 8 and -17. It's a little complicated, as we have gone above kind of many easy numbers, but you can try it out. It won't be too difficult also, because it's not a huge number. Go ahead and try it. And division, or divide these two numbers. Divide the same numbers I've given for multiplication. No, wait. Divide 20 and -10. It doesn't look, it looks kind of big, but it's not too difficult. Go ahead and try it. Comment the answers down below, whatever the answers you get for the homework. Thank you for watching. Please, as always, please subscribe to the channel if you have understood everything. Like and share the video as well. Thank you for watching.